Saint Karapet Monastery. The Saint Karapet Monastery, or Serthodan's Karapet Bank, meaning Monastery of Saint John the Baptist, also known as Black Bank or Monastery of Black, and Turkish, Kanli, was an Armenian monastic complex in the Tahran province of Greater Armenia, about 35 kilometers northwest of Mush, now in the Kurdish village of Çankaya in eastern Turkey. Founded in the 4th century by Saint Gregory the Illuminator, it was one of the oldest monasteries in Armenia. The monastery was a stronghold of the Macedonians, the princely house of Tahran, who were the holy warriors of Saint Yohannes Karapet, John the Baptist their patron saint. Saint Karapet Monastery was also one of the 3 most important sites for Armenian Christian pilgrimage, and among the richest, most ancient institutions in Ottoman Armenia, until it was destroyed to its foundations by Turks after the Armenia genocide. In the Middle Ages, the monastery Serd Karapet was not only one of the most revered places of the Armenians, but also a rich agricultural center of the region. It also possessed an extensive library, and was one of the centers of education. In the second half of the 19th century, when the Armenians of the Ottoman Empire struggled for independence, the monastery published the Eagle of Tahran newspaper by Crimean Hayek, the future Kirpolikos of all Armenians. In the book The Call of Plowman Kashuk, describes the winter scene in the monastery. On November 29, 1893, H.F.B. Lynch visited Serd Karapet Monastery and later wrote an account of it along with photographs in his book Armenia, Travels and Studies, first published in 1901. Revered by both Armenians and Zazas, the monastery was renowned for its ability to heal the mentally ill. At present, nothing remains of the former wealth and livelihood of the monastery. After the extermination and expulsion of the Armenians in the Armenian genocide, Serd Karapet ceased to exist not only as a spiritual center, but also as an architectural monument. The monastery was blown up by the Turkish army as part of successive Turkish government's policy of cultural genocide of the Armenian historical monuments in Turkey. Today what remains of Serd Karapet consists of a few shapeless ruins and carved stones and kachkars which have been used as building materials by the current Muslim residents, mostly Kurds, and are often found encrusted in the walls of local homes and structures. The monastery was located on the northern border range of the Mush Plain, at an elevation of 6,400 feet, or of 2,200 feet above the through of the plain. Serd means holy and Karapet means precursor, which stands for John the Baptist in the Armenian language. The monastery of Serd Karapet was founded by Gregory the Illuminator, who reportedly came to Tahran to spread Christianity in the area, soon after his famous conversion of King Turdad III. At that time, on the site of the cloister were 2 heathen temples that were an object of special reverence by a colony of Hindu refugees, who were under the sovereignty of the Armenian kings. They worshipped 2 colossal brass idols known by the names Demeter and Kisane. The Hindu warriors and their Armenian allies were defeated into successive battles by the army of Gregory the Illuminator, and their sanctuaries were razed to the ground. In its place Gregory the Illuminator erected a Christian church, and the body of Saint John the Baptist, which was moved from Caesarea, took the place of Demeter and Kisane. Remains of Armenian Bath of the Mush. Fortress of the Serd Karapet Monastery, 1915. As shown in photos of H.F.B. Lynch from the beginning of the 28th century and published in the book Armenia, Travel, Essays and Studies. The monastery was surrounded by strong walls and was similar to a fortress. On the eastern side of the main cathedral of the monastery were 2 chapels with polygonal towers and conical roofs, probably more ancient than the main church. The latest construction in the architectural ensemble was the portal to the Elephant Bell Tower, a basis to the origin of the Turkish name of the monastery, Shanli, meaning with a bell tower. Besides the church of Saint Karapet, the monastery also contained within its walls the martyrium of Saint John the Baptist, the chapel of Saint George, the chapel of Saint Stephanos and the church of Saint Christmas. This magnificent example of Armenian architecture has been destroyed to its foundations during the last century. According to Thierry, the martyrium of the Holy Precursor was probably at first a hall-shaped building with archaic-style cupola, but was later much altered. The Two Chapels by H.S.B. Lynch, 1893. Viewed south of the Mish Plain, from the terrace, 1893. Tallinn was a canton of the Turuban province of Greater Armenia, now in the Muş province, Turkey. It was divided into 4 districts: Mamikonian, Bilani, Vilibitine Artok, Artijaya Shore Artside, west of Lake Van. The history of Tallinn is a relatively short historical romance in 5 parts, purporting to describe significant events occurring in the district of Tallinn during the Byzantine-Persian Wars when Sassanid Emperor was Khosrow II, 590–628. During Khosrow's reign, Tallinn was frequently invaded by the Iranians. The history describes the actions of 5 generations of Mamikonians, Tallinn's princely house in defending and avenging the district. Each section recital of the story is devoted to the exploits of one of the defenders, Moshe Vakin, SMBat, his son Vakin Komsarakin, and the latter's son Tyrone. The heroes are at times superhumanly brave or duplicitous, wise or cunning, humble or bombastic, humane or brutally merciless as the situation requires. Above all, they are the holy warriors of Saint Karapet, John the Baptist, their patron saint, and they zealously defend the Monastery of Black, also known as Sir Karapet Monastery, as well as all the churches and Christians in the district. Much of the narration describes battles fought in the gunning tactics used by the Tauronites to defeat the invading Iranians. Bodil Catherine Bauer was born on January 27, 1871 in Krajaro, Norway. In 1905, the Women Missionary Organization sent Bauer into the Ottoman Empire as a missionary nurse. She was first based in the town of Monastery-Mush in the Karapet province and later in Mush. During her tenure in the Ottoman Empire, she cooperated with the German missionaries of HBLFS Fund in an effort to help the widows and orphans. In 1915, she witnessed the Mush massacres, including the persecution and annihilation of the orphans in her custody and the murder of numerous Armenian priests, teachers and assistants. During the genocide, while many of her colleagues reverted to a role of bystander, Bodil Catherine Bauer became a witness and a messiah, saving the lives of hundreds of homeless Armenian women and children. Furthermore, Bodil Bauer documented the events she witnessed through her testimonial diary and her photography. Her photographic album consists of various images of the genocide with descriptive comments on the back of each photo print. Moreover, Bauer adopted a 2-year-old Armenian orphan, who survived the genocide, and in 1917, she took the boy named Raphael with her to Norway and baptized him as Nansen. Nansen, originally named Raphael, became her only son, as Bauer never got married in her life. Bodil Bauer passed away in 1960, leaving behind a legacy that will live forever. Collection of Bodil Bauer archival photos. Bodil Bauer with her colleagues. The monastery St. Karapet, 4th century, fully destroyed in 1915. 10 children who had new clothes made for them for Christmas 1908, for money sent from a local group of WMW in Norway. The Holy Tomb of John Baptist in St. Berg, 4th century, fully destroyed in 1915. National Feast, dancers at St. Berg, for 2 17th centuries, fully destroyed in 1915. Some of little Armenian girls with their dolls before the massacres. One of the classes in the day school in Mush with their teacher Margaret, the teacher Margaret Nalbankanen, and most of the 120 children of the day school were murdered in 1915. The quoted text was written by Bodil Bauer in verso of the photo. They all were murdered in 1915. Widow Rita Harupian, with her children, Mush 1916. Widow Duartu Bedrosian, with her children, Mush 1916. The monastery was destroyed by the Turkish army, under the Turkish government's policy of cultural genocide of Armenian monuments in Western Armenia. The St. Karapet Monastery, at present. Body of Armenian worker, killed by Turks on the road near Mush. Armenian women and children in the alley of St. Karapet Monastery in Mush. Carved stones and karchkers were used as building materials by the Kurds, and are often found in the walls of houses and structures. During the mid-11th century, Tauron was a theme of the Byzantine Empire. Its governor was Theodore Erroneous.